Nobody wants to be with me, and that's fine. That's their choice. I don't really care. It's getting. It's already past the miserable point. It's been past that for a long time. But the annoying part that people do is like blame, like men blame women. Oh, it's all women's. No, it's not. It's not one sex's fault. It's just individual people's fault usually. It's a whole mess of things. People know what they're doing. They're not stupid. If they want to be with you, they'll be with you. If they don't, they don't. Simple as that. It's not fucking rocket science. It's not. I'm not saying that some people won't have it rougher than others, because we do. A lot of people do. It's just this tooth is that one right there. It only came out during a little bit before COVID, and still haven't gone to the dentist because I'm sure some sadistic dentist will be like, "Well, I'm just gonna pull it out. I can't refill it." I'm like, "Well, can you cap it?" No. I'm a government paid dentist. I don't care. I'm just gonna leave it in there and put a cap on it myself, though. It does hurt, but so does everything else. So get over that. Being alone the whole time it sucks, but you'll get used to it. I mean, it's really not that hard once you've done it for a long time. There are bouts of wanting to fuck someone, or wanting to be with someone, or wanting to anything really. But then you get over that because nobody wants to be with you. Like me, no one wants to be with me. If they wanted to be with me, they would have. It would have been already. Yes, like I said, people know what they're doing. So. I don't know. I think it's better to just accept being alone. Just accept it. It's a part of life. There will be somebody, or there won't be. I mean, you ever have deja vu dreams? I've had those a lot of times. It's more like I don't know, just reminding yourself, maybe you've done this many times, maybe you've done this a lot, and then you have deja vu, and that's a different path, and depending on how you feel, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm just saying things. But as miserable as life can be, I mean, you can still find something to enjoy. I mean, I try to. And it's easy. Just do it. And ignore all the fucking bullshit all the time, because it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna fucking happen no matter what you try to do. So ignore it if you can. If not, then push it out of your life and kick it in the fucking face. Knock its teeth out. I don't know, do whatever you gotta do. There's a bunch of assholes out there, and you just deal with them accordingly. It's not hard. I feel like, it's getting bad out there. It's just like kind of like, what's that word? I don't know. It's dumb. It's really dumb, because it's just like, it's like watching a TV show and you're like, oh, something bad's gonna happen, something bad, and it is. It's going to happen. We don't know what it is. We don't know when it is. We can just sense it, and that's about it. We don't know what the fuck it is. But it's dumb when, like, it's funny when someone predicts something and then they're like, "What didn't happen, so you're wrong." It's like, who fucking cares? There was their feeling, and then they were wrong. Who gives a shit? Why does everyone like, oh, I got you, the ha-has, and who cares? Who fucking gives a shit? Shut the fuck up. Because this planet's gonna be fine without us. Either way. I mean, we weren't even around that long. We ruined it ourselves. Dude, dinosaurs lasted a long time for a reason. Because they, they didn't pollute the planet and try to kill it. They didn't view it as a fucking political issue or a human rights issue. They just shit and pooped and killed each other and ate and bred, which is what people do. Except for they ruin it. Like, the sex is just awful. It's been awful for a long time, but it always comes back around into the public eye, like New York, or Times Square back in the day, or London in 1888 when Jack the Ripper was around. He was killing whores for a reason. Same thing with anybody else who does that as an ideological murder. They're trying to prove a point. And sex and violence to me are two completely different things, personally. That's what I believe. Murder is not sexy at all. It's fucking murder. It's violent. Nothing to do with sex at all. I don't understand why people are so fucking intertwining those things. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's stupid. When I'm defending my life and surviving, I'm not thinking about sex as the last fucking thing I'm thinking about. When I'm thinking about sex, I'm not thinking about murder at all. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, it's fucking retarded how people think that. And we watch porn and everybody mimics it, and it's been happening for a long time. I've been talking about this shit forever. It's annoying. No one gives a shit what you're doing. Nobody's, and the only people that are watching it, and they repeat it, and then their girlfriends are talking to their friends about how fucked up it is, but they don't say it to their boyfriends or any other partners in general. Men, women, doesn't matter, because they're submissive and they just don't care, or they're just depressed and they had no hope and they don't give a fuck, so they just don't bring it up. They pretend to enjoy it because they're fucking stupid. And they turn it into some psychological kink thing, which isn't even a fucking thing. There was a time when bondage wasn't that bad, maybe, from what I've been understanding. Though it seems like it's always been kind of fucked up in the worst way. But there was like the playful early 2000s kinky stuff that was just recorded, and then I don't know about the 90s. I don't really look into that porn that much. I should, but like the 70s, that stuff was weird sometimes too. It was just people recording sexual acts, recording what we are ingrained to do, which is breeding, and then recording those acts and then watching them over and over again because we can't control ourselves. We need to feel a release of goodness because we're so fucking miserable and depressed. And that fucking little serotonin from ejaculating or coming or whatever you want to call it, people got addicted to that feeling because they're so depressed all the fucking time and they don't know how to deal with life otherwise. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have sex with anyone. Masturbation, yeah, but that's about it. I'm alone all the time, but I don't find an excuse to make it a priority of mine, or I don't find it like a goal, or I just don't care about it. I'm pretty much an animal when it comes to that. Just like not in a bad way. Just like I like to breed with a female someday. In that sense. But I don't view sex as pointless and just for breeding. I find it beautiful and how you express it, how that's what it was meant to be when humans took a hold of it. You know, expressing love through that. Because that's what it is. It's love. You love someone. You know, when you become addicted to sex, you just find anybody and you don't care. But when you love someone and you make love to them, that's what that is. And it's not hard to do. It's not hard to fall in love with someone if you you know, there's people that do it all the time. Couples that do it all the time because they love doing it and they love each other. And there's some people that are just addicted to the act. Because like I said, serotonin. Which sucks. You know, because it's like a drug. You're just like, you know, it's not really worth it at that point. You might as well just be masturbating, and you get the same feeling. You don't have to fuck someone. But yeah, perversion and all that other shit, that's awful. Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. Gross. I don't see the point. I really don't. But no, working on my guitars. I actually like working on my guitars. It's nice. Just putting little things on there that I want. I do want to get some more parts. I just ordered some parts. Just some humbucker covers that they didn't have at the music store that I usually go to in town. Excuse me. So, yeah, that'll be fun. I do have... I do have one beer for the new year. That's it. That's all I got. I don't drink, so... But occasionally I do. Maybe I haven't drank in 3 years. Probably. It's been a long time. I still have whiskey and wine that I've never opened, just because I've had it for like over 10 years now. I just like to collect it sometimes and look at it. Maybe someday I'll crack it open with someone that I care about. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, a beer is not bad. Like one beer every few years or even every year is good for it cleanses your palate and it cleanses your intestines. The alcohol kind of cleans it out a tad. But yeah, just for the New Year's. So, keeping it by the window because it keeps it cold. I don't know. I mean, I've been in love a couple times. Probably over 3 times. Like actually in love with someone and they don't reciprocate it. But that's okay. That's their choice. I can't hold it against them. I can't be mad at the entire female population because a few people didn't reciprocate love. That doesn't make sense. I got other things to do. I got other things to preoccupy my time with. And I've been that way since I was young. Since my whole life I've been that way. I was alone just because I like being alone. And I like being creative. I always made movies or music or anything. Writing, drawing, painting. That's how I preoccupied my alone time, and I still do. I haven't painted in a while. A long while, but yeah. I do want to get a nice camera just to make my movies, you know. So I had a bunch of, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s, I had the old VHS ones, like the tiny VHS ones, the DV whatever ones, and then I had the big VHS ones for normal size VHS tapes, cameras. That's all I had. When I was in high school, they had this really nice digital camera, which I thought was awesome because I remember rewinding it. It's like, oh hell yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. But yeah, that was awesome. I miss that stuff. I miss that time in high school because I could make anything I wanted. And I remember I made so many funny movies in high school. But yeah, that camera was fucking awesome. I remember, I mean, you could also check it out. I wish I would have checked it out. But no, I didn't. But I remember I was filming, like, I remember middle school, we did a music video thing, and I did "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and it was just me and my friends pretending to be drunk at school and throwing up, and it was funny. And then we had Kool-Aid and fucking make it like blood. It was funny. And I remember, oh my god, there was this. Let me try to remember this. It was something fucking hilarious, and they didn't put it in for like the end of the year thing for class in middle school, but it was fucking funny. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh my god. No, that wasn't it. That was another thing. But that was the time, I mean, in middle school when I was getting into my music thing, and I had different names for my, because my friend named a band. I didn't name it, my bass player did. I was like, okay, because I had different names, and I always had this circle with the, always filled in with something. I think Manson was one of them, as Charles Manson, but not like Marilyn Manson or anything, but I just named it that because it was whatever. I didn't care. And it was more ideological at that time. But it had like the zodiac sign, crosshairs on it. But then I didn't want that. I wanted something else, and I remember cul-de-sac, but it wasn't cul-de-sac. It was ball-de-sac, like ball, duh, sack, and that was the name. I should find some of that old the paperwork. I'll show you that. That shit was hilarious. So yeah, ball the sack for a while, and everyone was just like, oh okay. Yeah. So then I just asked my other bandmate. I said, what do you want? He said, oh this okay. So then after that, it was what it was for forever now, and that's a long. It's almost. I can't believe it. It's almost 20 years. It's almost been 20 years. It'll be 20 years in 2 years from now, after the new year. I mean, God, it's a long time. It's a long time to be doing that. But yeah, I was doing music before that too, a little bit. But no, when I met him, it was awesome. It was great. The music, us together is awesome. There's one song that I remember recording just before we stopped hanging out. It was on our Zoom recorder thing, and he might still have it. I should ask him. It's on an SD card. That song was really good, and I remember the rip. It's in my head right now. I can remember it. I can re-record it if I wanted. But I do have a bunch of old demos from 2005, around that time. 2005. So I got all those demos, and I might release those someday. But yeah, I miss that stuff. Those are good times. But I mean, right now, what I have music-wise, I prefer that over what I had back then. I mean, I do miss it, but it's the past, so I can't really worry about it anymore. It's done. But yeah, I'm gonna start buying a couple more synthesizers. I have one. I remember, oh man, my friend was gonna try to get me one that he had in his grandma's attic, like over 14 years ago, around that time. Yeah, no, 2006, and so a little bit ago, and yeah, that thing was cool. It was the one where, I had I'm trying to think. Oh my god, wait a minute. That's what I was dreaming last. I just remembered my dream from last night. Yeah. But yeah, no, I love music. I've been obsessed with it since I was a kid. I remember my mom saying when I was a kid, I used to watch Beetlejuice. I was like, it was probably 92. When Addams Family came out, that one, around that time. But anyways, I used to rewind the Beetlejuice tape over and over again, the ending part, and just listen to it. And I remember doing the same thing with the Twister movie at the end, because the Eddie Van Halen thing was fantastic. The guitars song at the end, Respect the Wind. I was addicted to that. I rewound it all the time. And then I remember going to Walmart and buying that Twister CD with that song on it, and I just replayed the fuck out of that CD over and over. I was addicted to that song. I love that song. Like, it was, the guitar is so beautiful and it was fantastic. I remember when I was around, like, yeah, 7, my mom got me The Wall, and I was addicted to that too. Like, I loved it. There's a guy at my mom's work a long time ago that burned me a Pink Floyd mix and a bunch of different stuff. That was around the time that I remember. I also remember that when they had the Echo, or the double disc Echoes thing, when it was on TV and you could order it. I think my mom got that for me too through the TV. But I remember going to FYE and Sam Goody's and all that stuff, and they had a lot of good Pink Floyd CDs. And that's one of my favorite bands. I love that band. But yeah, Nirvana and all that stuff, Alice in Chains, all that stuff that I grew up with, in the '90s and in the early 2000s there was some good stuff. It was honestly the time when greatest hits were coming out for all these bands, and it was like, oh, cool, all the greatest songs on one CD. So I had a bunch of those, but I never. It was like probably like a couple years later that I started getting into the albums too, like Pantera, all that stuff. And it sucked because Dimebag died on my birthday, or on that when I was right when I was heavily getting into them, because I not that I didn't know about them, but I just wasn't heavily into them as much as I was at that time. But yeah, I know I've been rambling for a minute, but yeah, thanks for listening. I love you guys and take care of yourselves. I love you guys. Alright, bye.